Hi everybody, my name is Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Jason.
And we are the YHWH the Torah YouTube channel. And we thank you guys so much for joining us. It is a third day?
It is a third day.
I think it's a third day. It's a third day. It is another day we get to basically be on this earth and basically do the will of our Father, which is to keep the Torah, to write the Torah on our hearts, minds, and souls. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to do today. We are going to study the commands. We're in Deuteronomy, and it's been very fun doing this with you guys. It's been a very fun journey going through the entire Torah, finding commands, finding out if there's really 613 or if that's just a burden that the people have put on the rest of the followers of Yah.
Yeah, and absolutely. I thought I actually knew the Torah far better than what I now know, what I think I know. And prior to us going through this, studying on this, I don't think we read it to comprehend it quite like this. I think we just like, oh, there's commandments here, this is what we should do. But when you actually go through it and you search it as a Berean does, then it is much better. So hopefully this audio works. I am like sitting away from the table because as John the Baptist said, he must decrease and YHWH must increase. And that's the same for this table. I must decrease because I have a loud booming voice that makes crisis actors cry for miles around. That's an inside joke. So anyway, we are on the ninth of this month, on the 6th month, and this is the third day. I think we got this right.
Third day of the week, yep.
Now, I'm going to take us over to our friendly place in the ghettos, and this is where, I don't know, guys. It goes over, and it goes over, and it goes over. This is one that we did yesterday, and it started off with Greed Kills. I enjoyed listening to your post, but I hope you realize the Old Testament is the New Testament minus the laws of Moses. And he says Jesus fulfilled the laws. So we read that yesterday. And so I've been going back and forth. And then this is what I mentioned to this guy. I said, has heaven and earth passed away, brother? If they are still here, not one jot or tittle of the Torah is gone. The Torah is good for all ages. Besides Levitical commandments, which command gives you the most trouble? Do you even know the commandments of Yah? Take a look at YHWH and the Torah.net and let me know which commandments are too hard for you to keep. And I say, much love, brother. Then he writes back and he goes, you cannot understand it now, but hopefully you will later. It seems to me you have no clue what or who God is. God never changes. Okay, well, that's true. So he quotes 1 Timothy 3:16, and without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. God was manifested in the flesh, justified in the Spirit, seen of angels, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, received up into glory. Okay, can you guys pull up 1 Timothy 3:16? Because I do not believe that it said God was manifest in the flesh. And while you guys are looking that up, I'm going to go to 1 John 4:2, and it says, hereby know ye Spirit of God, every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is of God. So I don't dispute that one, right?
That's normal.
But that is not he's not the flesh of God. What does yours say at 1 John 4:2? Kate?
Oh, 4:2?
No. So
mean?
somebody do 1
mean?
Timothy 3:16.
All right, it says, and beyond all question, the secret of reverence is great, who was revealed in the flesh, declared right in the Ruach, was seen by messengers, was proclaimed among the nations, was believed on in the world, and was taken up in esteem.
It doesn't say God was manifest in flesh in the correct translation. Yeah, all right, 1 John 4:2.
Sephir has YHWH.
Sephir? Yeah, Sephir.
First John or John?
Emissary of Elohim says I shouldn't be giving Dr. Pigeon so much grief, but I think this guy really botched the word of Yah. So
yeah, you can't be giving away stuff like that. That leads people astray.
Yeah, plus selling that stuff when you have
selling wrong.
Thing. All right, so
it's 1 John
4:2. What does 1 John 4:2 say?
By this you know the Ruach of Elohim. Every spirit that confesses that YHWH HaMashiach has come in the flesh is of
YHWH HaMashiach?
Or YHWH HaMashiach, my bad. Has come in the flesh of Elohim.
Okay. Yeah, so that does not say he is Yah, but I mean he's come in the flesh.
It just says if every spirit, if any spirit, this is how it tests the spirits, like it's a demon or an angel. I mean, this has nothing to do with
John 20:28. Yeah, this is the next one. This one, it gets everybody. The Christians completely trip this one up all the time. And Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord and my God. And it doesn't say it in the right translation, it's my Adonai.
I think it's like my master.
Yeah, and it doesn't say my God.
What is that one? John what?
John 20:28. Yeah, that's it.
And Thomas answered and said to him, Adonai and my Elohim.
Yeah, my Elohim. And Elohim, is that capital or lowercase?
This is capital. Yeah.
That was capital, though. I don't know. Well, that one is not it, but it's not. Thomas is not saying he's Yah. I mean, this is the correct version of this is master, my Lord and my Adonai. All right, so the next one, I and my Father are one, Matthew 1:23. We've done this one 100,000 times. Here's the answer to that. My family and I are all one as well. You know, we do everything as a team, but we are not all the same team people, right? We are all individuals within this team. And then he goes, he does the other one. Behold, a virgin shall be called a child and bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is being interpreted God with us.
Well, okay. Well, here's if you look at through the rest of the translations of other Hebrew names, every single one of them has God in it. Like here, I don't know if we have the name book. Maybe we have some here in the front of this. Here we have some of the translations of the names. It's like Yirmiyahu and things like that.
It's in the back of the book, right?
There's some things like here, Yahudah, Yah is praised. Yochanan, John, Yah has favored. That
Right,
doesn't
all the
mean,
names have like Yah is in it.
Obadiah, the servant of Yah. I mean, every single one of them has the name. That's why Emmanuel is just El at the end with Elohim. That means Elohim is with us. Every single time you gave someone a name, back in the Bible days, in the Hebrew, you always have like El or Yah in it to pronounce that they are of Yah. That they named them after Yah.
I should have named you Caden Yahoo and Jaden Yahoo. Eliyahu.
That sounds better.
That sounds better. Eliyahu. All right, let's go to the next one. He says, this is what he says. God has 10 commandments.
Oh boy.
Not the Babylonian 600 plus commandments from the Talmud. That is, in fact, he doesn't actually know. The 600 commandments are not from the Talmud. They actually bring those from the Torah. The Talmud yet is another book we do not read, sets of books we do not read. It's Babylonian mysticism. It's crap. I shouldn't say that. Nicole says that is my favorite word, and I got to stop saying the C word. Okay, so then he says, Jesus fulfilled the law of Moses because he is God come in the flesh, and only the blood of God can cover your sins. The law of Moses was for people to keep themselves clean because they did not keep the blood atonement from God for the mercy seat.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
He says, he contradicts himself right here in this whole thing when he says, God never changes. If God said, keep my commandments forever, and then himself came down and did away with the law, he just changed. You have contradicted yourself. You have become a liar, and you have also made God a liar.
Yeah.
Right? And you say he never changes, and that's blasphemy. If you're sitting there saying God's a liar, you're blaspheming God just by this statement alone.
Yep. And then he quotes Acts 10:15 for his swine loving, right?
Oh boy.
No,
No.
I don't even have to look this one up.
And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God has cleansed, thou call not thou common. All right, anybody want to take a
Dude,
quick...
read the chapter, man.
It has nothing to do
You
with
really
it.
just need to
You
read the
gotta-
entire chapter. You cannot take one verse out of an entire story. It's like saying, reading a book and it says, and he died, but he like died in the play or something. It wasn't a real thing. You can't just take a single tiny verse out of an entire story and expect it to make sense. You just can't do that. You have to read everything to make sense. You don't take a small word and make a sentence out of it.
Yeah, and again, we would be something of the same. Like a cannibal thinks a human corpse is food, right? Mm-hmm. You could use the same thing right here. What God has cleansed, thou shalt not call common, right? And it's like a sheet of unclean animals came down. So if a sheet of unclean animals came down, you could eat whatever you want, right? If you're able to unclean
I'll
animals.
explain it real quick.
Go ahead.
Back then in the Jewish times, they were seen as goyim, which is, and since they were Jewish, they were
Who's goyim?
Goyim are the people outside of
Judaism.
Yahudah, out of Judaism. Goyim, it means animal, it means like filth, it means a whole bunch of terrible, nasty words for people that are outside of Judaism. And if you are a goyim, you're an animal. So Yahuwah made that interpretation to say that the outside animals, the unclean animals you guys think are unclean, are not unclean. You need to go minister to people. You can save these people. These people have the ability to have salvation just as you have salvation.
Right, and towards the end of the chapter, Peter's like, hey, I now understand that it's not about the animals, but it's about saving the people outside of the Torah.
Yep. All right, so...
Another thing is if they killed God, if God came down and God's creations killed him, what kind of God is that?
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. Where did he go for 3 days? Or where did they? Who was running the Shemaim when they killed Yah? Okay, so this is what I said, brother. If you're eating swine, please don't tell me I don't have a clue who Yahuwah is. If you aren't eating abominable things, then let's talk. Yahuwah never changes. He says to guard his laws for all generations. And please don't quote from the Book of Demon. And then I gave him the Book of Demon, which I love. And so BitChute should now have the Book of Demon, which they now have the Book of Demon on here, so that I can get everybody who hates Yah to yell at me for the rest of the time. This is what he says. He continues on. The reason why people cannot understand Jesus is because every man is born a liar. Does it not say that God will come to teach everyone?
Where? Show us.
Where does that say that Yah's going
I
to come
think
down
towards
and teach
maybe
everyone?
Revelation, Yah will come and dwell with us. And
When's he going to teach? we know that Messiah YHWH is going to come down, right? We know that he'll dwell with us. We know from other scriptures that at some point we could possibly dwell with Yah, or he could possibly come down and dwell with us.
And Revelation talks about him coming down and dwelling with his people, and everyone knows the Torah. So maybe no one has to teach anyone the Torah because everyone knows it. So
this is Christian cultism right here. The reason why people cannot understand Jesus is because every man is born a liar. So they'll leave you with that.
That doesn't make any sense. You're sitting there trying to figure out what does it mean. You're born liars. What does it mean?
I think everyone is born innocent until a certain point where they know what sin is, and
when you put your hand in the cookie jar for the first time and understand it, you broke the Torah.
Disobey your parents or break some law.
You are born into the sinful world, but it's your choice to sin or not.
Yeah. So I quoted him some stuff. Enter at the narrow gate, right? We love that one. And not everyone that says to me, Adonai, Adonai. We quoted him that one. Think that I have not come to destroy the Torah or the prophets. I have not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For amen, I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, not one yard tittle shall no wise pass from the Torah, till all is fulfilled. I also gave him 1 John 3:4, which whoever commits sin, which is funny because he was writing me at the exact same time, and he quoted the exact same verses in here. So he quoted John 14:15, and he says, if you love me, keep my commandments. What is that?
Maybe he just converted? Is he good
I don't know. I don't think he converted.
No, he just thinks it's only the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments, this is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye should walk it. So
a question for all Christians out there. Where does it say in the Bible you should only keep the 10 Commandments? Where in the New Testament is that? Because I cannot find a supporting scripture for this.
That is actually Talmudic Judaism, right? You are not to teach. The Goys can do the 10 Devarim, but they cannot do the rest, right? Because they are not Jews. So they allow the Goyim to have the lesser of the commands. They do not get the full scriptures, and you can never learn them as a Goy, right?
Yeah, if you are trying to learn, you're supposed to be killed or something in the Talmud.
So this guy has the right stuff, right? For all of sin and come short of the glory of God. If we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not with us. I don't know what he's trying to point. I think he's just trying to prove that we are in sin or something of the sort.
By trying to not sin?
Yeah, I don't know. And, I finalized this up, and this is where we'll leave this conversation here. I said, and I quoted John 4:20, all of these, right? My Father says, I work, therefore I must work, for I came down to heaven not to do my own will. All of this stuff. I mean, this is a Trinity killer. But, this is a waste of time, is what this is, because this guy will never, ever change. So, we'll leave it where it's at. We'll exit the ghettos real quick, and we will get into our handy-dandy split screen. And we just have duct tape and rubber bands. All right, here we go. All right, Deuteronomy 11. Here we go. I'm talking like I have a hair in my mouth, because I do. I'm trying to get this out, but it's hard because I have this beaver on my face or something. It's like a huge, hairy thing, and there are things that beards can get way too big. They can get too fluffy. And I'm still trying to deal with the hair in my mouth. I'm super sorry, guys. All right, here we go. Deuteronomy 11. Recap real quick. There, I got it. Okay, Deuteronomy 11. Quick recap. 1 through 3, 1 through 11, 10. Moshe said 3 times right now, I haven't been able to go into this land because of you people that you've done this.
Basically went over a history lesson for the new generations.
We're still over in a history lesson right now.
And now he's teaching them the laws that they should know and what their fathers stuff broke and stuff, and just learning the laws.
Yeah, and other than the Shabbat commands throughout Scripture, which we have over 240, this verse 1 is probably the biggest command that we have by far. So let's go. Deuteronomy 11. Therefore you shall love Yahuwah Eloheka and guard his watch and his statutes and his judgments and his commandments always. Do we even need to discuss this? I guess we should.
I mean, what does always mean? Does always mean?
Always means until Messiah Yahushua comes, and then we can eat pig. That's the way. And we only eat it because it was so good, and it was a test for those guys back in the day because it was so tasty, right?
It's just too good.
Too good. Verse 2. And ye know this day, for I speak not with your children, which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of Yahuwah Elohim, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm. So he's explaining it right here why he's doing this, right? Because he's talking to you guys, the children, because they had not seen it. These guys were the people,
they hadn't seen the stuff at the mountain. They hadn't,
right.
witnessed all the stuff.
Most of them probably hadn't. Okay. And his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Mitzrayim unto Pharaoh, the king of Mitzrayim, and unto all his land. And what he did unto the army of Mitzrayim, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how YHWH has destroyed them unto this day. And what he did unto you in the wilderness, until ye came unto this place. And what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the sons of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession, in the midst of Yisrael. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of YHWH, which he did. Therefore shall ye guard all the commandments, which I command you this day, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land whither ye go to possess it. So we have two. Yeah, we have verse 1, and we also have verse 8. So there it says it again. Guard my commandments. I wonder if this is important to you. Okay, 9. That ye may prolong your days in the land which YHWH has sworn to your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that flows with milk and honey. For the land whither you go to possess it is not as the land of Mitzrayim, from which ye came out, where you sowed your seed and watered it with your foot, as garden of herbs. But the land whither you go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinks water of the rain of heaven. A land which YHWH Eloheka cares for. The eyes of YHWH Eloheka are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even until the end of the year. So he's talking about the land of Yisrael.
He's like trying to get them excited, trying to fix the mistakes that were made 40 years ago, where these people were too scared to actually go fight for their land. He's like, YHWH slew Egypt. He slew all these people. You've seen it happen. And now he's like, this land is so beautiful. You don't want to mess this up. Your land is so beautiful. Y'all watches over it. It's a great land. And it's like, you can't mess this up this time. Just don't mess it up.
Well, how do we explain the abortion clinics that are over there right now?
They messed it up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he says his eyes are upon it. He loves his land. And so right now, it's got to be in defilement. Okay.
I gotta say it's more like the people of the land he's watching.
Well, yeah, but there's blood everywhere, right?
I mean, that's like the Canaanites have re-entered the land. I mean,
it's under occupation right now.
All Israel left, all they were exiled, they never came back, and the Canaanites just took over.
Yeah, and they are. There's just a bunch of forgers at the moment. Okay, 13. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love YHWH Eloheka and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, again a commandment, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, in the first rain and the latter rain, that you may gather in your grain and your wine and your oil. All right, so we have 3 so far, Nicole?
Yep.
Okay, and that one would go under others, right?
Yep, serve him.
Love YHWH goes under Shema.
Yep.
So there's like 2 or 3 inputs.
There's 3
here.
just in that one.
Okay. 15. And I will send grass in your fields for your cattle, that you may eat and be full. Yay! He's going to send grass in your fields. That's very important if you have cows, right? If the cows can completely decimate what you think is a huge field. Okay, 16. Guard yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other Elohim and worship them. Okay, so that is a commandment, right? It says guard yourselves.
Is that the one like where we have guard your soul?
It says guard yourself. It says do not serve no other Elohim. So this would go under serve no other Elohim, as well as probably guard yourselves, right? Because it's guard yourselves, comma. And I guess that would be. But he says guard yourselves that your heart be not deceived. So
Moshe really does not want these people to mess up. As much as they put him through, as much trouble as they've been through with the Israelites, and that's the new generation and everything, even though he still loves these people. He's like really giving them a pep talk. He's giving them 11-chapter pep talk now of don't mess this up. You guys can go in the land. Don't go serve other Elohim. Love Yahuwah. Obey his commands. And he's like, just don't mess this up or you will be disposed of.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. No, Moshe is he's truthful and faithful to Yah, and he's trying to give these guys the best shot possible because I think he knows these people are going to be up to. Okay, so you got that one, Nicole?
Yep.
And then Yahuwah's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heavens, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which YHWH gives you. Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them as a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. Okay, another command. And this one goes under a whole bunch of places as well, right? You're supposed to lay up the words in the heart and in your soul. This is the Shema, right? This is essentially what this is. And bind them as a sign upon your hand, frontlets between your eyes. Now, how do you put them between your eyes? How do you do them as frontlets, gentlemen?
You read them. You keep them on your mind.
Keep them on your mind. You keep them. If you're on the front, what does it mean if they're on the frontlets of your eyes?
I mean, that's all you see. It's
That's what you see, exactly. Yeah, and that is what we should be seeing. Okay, and you shall teach them your children, speaking of them when you sit in the house, in your house, and when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. This is Shema again. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. Again, that the Shema is reiterated. That your days may be multiplied in the days of your children in the land which Yahuwah has sworn to your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if ye shall diligently guard all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love Yahuwah Elohim, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, again, there's yet another command, then Yahuwah will drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. All right. What's the big boss want here, guys? What does the big boss man want?
He wants more than anything obedience. He wants people to prove themselves that they love him through everything. They want obedience.
Guard. He wants you to guard these commandments. Guys, what do you do? We've been in fight. We've been MMA fighters for quite a long time, right? What do I always tell you guys when you start fighting?
Hands up. Hands up.
Hands up what?
Chin down.
Hands up, chin down. And when you start dropping your hands, you get clipped in the head, right? This is what it is. If you do not guard yourself in a fight, you will get knocked out, right? That's the way it is. The same is for a fight in life. If you are not guarding the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator, you're going to get knocked out in a whole different way. I would much rather be knocked out by a guy swinging a fist than knocked out by Yah because I have not guarded his commandments. So it's very, very, very important. All right, 24. 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Parath, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for Yahuwah Elohim shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he has said unto you. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Okay, do we have this right now? Do we have blessings and curse?
I don't think
Anything
so.
in the commands?
I don't think we have any.
Okay, so this is important. So somehow this needs to get in there. Okay, a blessing if you obey the commandments of Yahuwah, which I command you this day. Okay, so there it is. So if you obey the commandments of Yahuwah, you will be blessed. That's a new commandment, I think.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
I don't see it as a command because it's not like you need to do this. It's more of like, if you do, I'll give you blessings. It's more like telling you what happens if you keep the commands.
Anyone else?
No, I think it's a command. You're saying keep the command, or you're about to get blessed. You're about to get cursed.
I'd like to put this in the list or something. I mean, a lot of people don't understand.
Can we put it at the top or a reference verse if you keep the commands I set before your blessing or something?
Yeah, maybe
Like
something
the
like that. Maybe
header
it's
of it.
not a new commandment, Nicole.
I don't think it's a new commandment. I think it would either go under the guard the commandments that we always have under there with his big
Right.
long list, and that it's a blessing if you keep these commands.
Okay. All right. I agree. All right. 28. And a curse if you will not obey the commandments of Yahuwah Elohim, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day to go after other Elohim which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass when Yahuwah Elohim has brought you in unto the land whither you go to possess it, that you shall put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Evil. So Gerizim and Evil. Okay. So what does that say? You show how do we put a blessing on Mount Gerizim and a curse upon Mount Evil?
Volcanoes, earthquake?
I don't know. Does this have anything to do with the goat we let out to Aziel, right? Because there's everybody has the cursed goat or the goat they laid, the
I don't
scapegoat.
know. I think it's more like blessing the land. I think they were surrounded by that mountain or something. I think it's like blessing that land.
Where's Mount Evil? I don't know where Mount Evil is. Wherever it is, it's cursed, right? So I guess Gerizim that's where we should go up to, the mountain Gerizim. That sounds good. We shouldn't go to Mount Evil. 30. I don't know, honestly.
I think Mount Evil is Edom's land. That might be the Edomites.
That could be. Okay. We should know this, but this is why we are going through this. Okay. Are they not on the other side of the Yarden, by the way where the sun goes down, in the land of the Canaanim, which dwell in the plain over against Gilgal, beside the plains of Morah? For ye shall pass over the Yarden to go in to possess the land which Yahuwah Elohim gives you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein. Let's recap. And ye shall guard to do all the commandments and judgments which I set before you this day. Wow, we just added to that whole bunch of those on the guard the commandments today.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys got?
If Yahuwah went through all of this to say, I'm doing away with it a couple thousand years, maybe like 1,000 years later,
He's a
or
psychopath.
less, he would literally be a liar for saying, in the American style of the Bible, you have the last book of the Old Testament. In the last, like one of the last verses, he says, I am Yahuwah, I do not change, I stay the same forever. Now, if we go straight into Matthew and he just says, well, the laws are gone, that would be insane. That's just an insane thing.
That is insanity. He's oh, psych. Just kidding. Guard the commandments. Nope. I'm just kidding, guys. That was just too much for the people to do. Why does Yah want us to guard the commandments?
To keep us safe, to show who is his people who actually want to follow him.
Okay, so we have safety, we have loyalty,
We have love,
blessings,
blessings.
right? Yeah, he wants all of that.
We
in
literally
there.
have promised security.
Promise security, but does that literally give you promise security? What happens when bad things happen, Cade?
Yah is going to put you through testing times. Not every time is going to be evil, or not every time is going to be good. Some things may happen evil, but it's not always Yah either. Sometimes Hazatan, Hazatan always attacked the Israelites. There's always something happening throughout Israel where they had to call on Yahuwah to deal with the problem.
And why does evil come upon us, Jade?
Because we follow the commands, and Hazatan doesn't want people that follow the commands to be blessed. He wants them to fall away, so they're not worshiping Yahuwah.
I'm looking for something else that we've talked about here. Why does evil fall upon us?
Because you don't follow the Torah?
That would fall. That
You
would
break
that
the
would be-
commands.
No, but why does Yah allow
He's testing us.
testing us? That's what I was looking for, right? Because we went over this the other day, right? And he's testing us, right? Will you be faithful? Will you be loyal? Will you keep your eyes upon Yah when Hasatan is battling, raging right in front of you? And will we be loyal to our Creator? That's what he's looking for. He's looking for a army of loyal soldiers who are willing to do and battle it out for him, and who are willing to keep his laws, statutes, and commands with no exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts, no wishy-washy, no not today, but it's every day, right? So, all right, that's it. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. What do you guys got?
Tonight is Youth for Yah in Spanish.
Yep. 6 o'clock, I think, or 6:30, whatever time it is, it will be premiered. It won't be live, but for anybody who has Spanish-speaking people, please point them in this direction so that we can help them and hopefully read with them and get them Torah tuned up. All right.
All right. Thank
Anything
you
else?
guys for sitting around with us. So we hope you guys have a blessed day. Shalom.
All right.
Shalom.
Shalom.